Welcome to Java filtering example. Now filtering conceptually simply means searching through any input you're given, looking for certain things that you'd rather not have. In our example, we're going to look at a specific function you can see beginning on line 1, simply called search for SQL injection. So let's focus on that first and then talk about how we could expand this to apply to any sort of filtering you may need to do. Now, if you're looking closely at line 1, you'll see two things about this function. It takes in a string as a parameter argument called str search target. That's essentially the string that you would like to search for some particular value. And it returns a Boolean. Either the Boolean was found or it wasn't. Now let's look at how this is structured. It's actually a very simple piece of code, terribly trivial. It begins on line number 5 with an if statement. Now what we're looking for in this particular example are things that are commonly used for SQL injection, such as the single quote, which is searched for on line 5, the pound sign on line 7, the semicolon on line 9, and then certain keywords that are often part of SQL commands, such as insert on line 11, update on 13, and select on line 15. Now this is terribly easy. I could have made this a compound if statement with ORs. It just would have looked a little less readable, so I separated it out. If any of these items are found, the function returns true. If not, or if there was an exception, it will return false. Now this is a fairly simple thing that will search just for SQL injection. What if we wish to search for something else? Well, I'm going to take the if statement starting on line 15. I'm just going to copy it and change one thing. Let's say we're concerned about cross-site scripting. Well, that often is done specifically with JavaScript and the script tag. So I will search for script tag. If I see that, I know this is likely to be cross-site scripting, and then the calling function can handle it however it wishes. Now that leads us to the next point. What about the calling function? Well, let's make one real quick. I'm going to call this public static void test function. It doesn't have to have any parameters, but at some point it will have a string. And I'm going to make this a string I'm going to call test, and I'm going to put some values in it. And I'm going to say something like, this is a test, but I will add in that script tag. Now all I have